It's Kiltz Live. It is 10 a.m. in East Coast time. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Princeton, New Jersey with my daughter and her husband, Luca, and the baby, Julio, and hanging out to see the baby and spending time holding Julio. Nothing more valuable than that. And I hope everybody's doing well. I was down with the Browns and G and Fred and Denitra and Robin, carnivorous grandma, and down in Memphis, Tennessee, and my good friend, Dr. Ken Berry. It was awesome. I had to run out a little early. I'm just like so amazing with the people to come see my beautiful grandbaby and really excited. Hey, United Carnivore, Caleb, how you doing? To our good friend, Mitch, he's healing. We're really grateful for that. And we're on a journey, and the journey is learning every single day. And my Instagram camera, sorry about that, Instagram. Hope you're doing well. I got Jeanette here on Kiltz Mighty Tribe. So thank you for being here. We're live, we're recording. I've got Luca made Kiltzy some poached eggs and some bacon. It is so amazingly good. I've been reading Meat 3 times a day. I also been reading Science on Trial, and another one I really love is Practical Guide to Jordan Peterson's Biblical Lectures, which someone put a little synopsis, and I also just interviewed Tammy Peterson, and she interviewed Kiltzy in Jacksonville, Florida, which was really, really amazing. And it's just another beautiful day in God's paradise. Good morning, Cynthia Smith, Jeanette Walker, Dawn C, Shay B, Jeanette Walker again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. A great day in God's paradise, and every day say thank you, God, Lord, Creator, for the day. I'm here visiting my ex-wife Gina and my son-in-law's mom, Franca, from Italy, from Monte Sicuro, Italy, and my grandparents are from Italy, so it's really good. Hey, Bacon Girl, how you doing? It's great to see you. Dr. Nelson, good morning. Let's see if I could get Dr. Nelson on, and I don't know. Let's see. I've got to do this. Let's see if I can do this, Dr. Nelson. See if I can get you on this morning on, let's see. I want to copy Messenger. Let's see. Can I do this? Maybe not. Oh, I know. I did copy it. Hold on, Dr. Nelson. Let's see if I can get Dr. Nelson on live today. Let's see here. Always great to bring my good friend, Dr. Nelson. Let me see if I copy, paste. I think I got it for you, Doctor. All right, let's see if that works, Dr. Nelson. There we go. All right, we sent it to Dr. Nelson. Let's see if I get Dr. Nelson if he's available. He may not be available. Betsy, welcome. And again, great to have people here. We're talking about faith and food and fitness and living your most awesome and amazing life, right? Let's see who we have here. Let me see if I can. United Carnivore, Caleb's Carnivore Quest. We got Carnivore Coach Lisa. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? We got Sandy Blythe. Good morning, all. We got, again, Caleb from Caldwell, Idaho. Granny Boo 2, Oklahoma. This is on our YouTube and Facebook. Ketovore, Hummingbird, good morning to you. Matthew Tremblay, David Devolsky, congrats. Oh, grandbaby. Oh my God, grandbaby is great and amazing. And I got bacon and I got some poached eggs. And nothing better in life than family. And listen, always we want to regroup and rejoin families. And there's so many separations and divorce. We've all been through them, but love, connection, relationships, and positivity. And we all have challenges and troubles. That's the game of it, right? Henry Ziba, good morning, Dr. K. Feeling the faith today. Danville, New Jersey, eggs and bacon. Oh my God. It's like, and Luca made poached eggs for us. And I'm like, and then I said, well, I've got to go do my live. So he plated them up for me and said, here you go. We'll get you going. And then my daughter Pilar came and set me up. Pound and a half. I'm telling you. And at the Browns retreat in Memphis yesterday was amazing. And I think they have a live event for free on Monday nights. And with Robin and Denitra and G and Fred and others, which is talking about health and wellness for all of us. And carnivore. Remember, I'm the bacon, eggs, butter, beef, and salt guy. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, Lisa. Thank you so much. Michael Pregler, Dan Sullivan, good morning to you. Carnivore Coach Lisa, great reads. Oh my God, they are great reads. But and Dr. Ken Beer was at the live yesterday, and so many people learning that carnivore is the game changer. And I know it seems so crazy, right? Will you eat again today, Steve Carbone? Generally, I do one meal a day at night. But if I have a little bit of breakfast, and again, I just have a little bit of breakfast, and I'm visiting my family here, Miss Pilar and Luca and the new baby Julio and Gina and Franca. And so if there's more food to sit down with, I'll enjoy and share with them. But I am going to do probably a 3 to 5 day fast this week. I'm not going to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. At least I might go Thursday, Friday. We'll see. I'm doing some traveling back down to Florida, and I'm going to be in Yuma, Tennessee in April for the great meetup there. And so you got to go to drkiltz.com. Okay, I got Dr. Vasquez here. Do I have the good doctor here? Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. I'm here. Give me just a second, okay?
All right. We got the good Dr. Vasquez who is joining from Central Florida, I think. And he's probably taking care of his grandson. And it's just such a joy. Deanna Raw from Reno says, good morning to all. Be strong, stay the course every day. And that's why I've been kind of off and on my lives the last few weeks. I've been traveling, time zone challenges. And so, it was just a little challenging for Kiltz. So I wasn't able to make it completely. David B says he'll be in Yuma, Tennessee coming up in April. And Dr. Nelson's going to be there also. I think Ali is going to be there. Let's see. I bought meat 3 times. I bought meat 3 times a day. Got it in the mail yesterday. Oh, nice. Listen, eat meat, be the best ever, right? Anything happening in South Florida, Veronica, Arbicus. Well, if you do something, we'll be there. But we're talking about it. We did Tampa. We've got Boston coming up. We've got Yuma, Tennessee coming up. We've got we got a lot of others coming up. So really excited about that. And so again, we're all working together to bring healing. What do you think of goat's milk kefir to help with the flu plain? C. Mamino. I'm not a big kefir fan, but if it's fresh, you make it yourself, probably the best. But again, you could try it out and see what it does. I just do butter, bacon, eggs, butter, beef, like best bacon. Dr. Vasquez, I'm so sorry. I can't share my bacon with you.
It's all right. Goat's meal, by the way, was my father was born 1928 after the worst hurricane in Puerto Rico. Wasn't Maria. Maria's number 2. And his mother, I don't know exactly the story. Somehow she couldn't breastfeed because she got an infection probably. And he grew up on goat's milk. Goat's milk is the closest milk to human breast milk, closer than cows.
So if women can't or choose not to breastfeed, would you say that goat's milk is the closest thing that and
Yeah,
recommend?
it is definitely the closest thing, and I've been looking into it. Unfortunately, we don't have anything commercially available that doesn't include seed oils and some other junky ingredients. But there is goat milk formula available. But unfortunately, I wish I could make a. I'm sure people have tried. I don't know what they probably may not last as long. There's always problems with durability. But anyways,
Well,
but
would you
it was fresh goat's milk. By the way, this was straight from the tin to his mouth almost.
so get yourself a goat if you're having other problems. It's the next thing to it, and would you, if you're getting it yourself, preparing yourself is probably the very best, and it's a really great question here from anyone. Maybe you can help answer this, Doctor Vasquez, Doctor Nelson. Has anyone had relief from diffuse esophageal spasms and carnivore for 3 months? If they're not getting relief, what would be your recommendation?
From what type of spasms? I didn't hear.
Esophageal
Oh,
spasms.
okay. If you're having esophageal spasms, the first thing I want you to do is go and see your doctor, obviously.
Get
Make
checked.
sure you don't have anything bad there. Um, this is totally a medical question, and I happen to have had esophageal spasms, and I remember exactly when because it was 1995. My wife was uh, pregnant, and I used to buy a lot of pumpkin seeds for her because they are rich in zinc. And I was eating some of them, watching. I believe it might have been Jay Leno. Anyways, long story short, I developed chest pain real bad. Ended up going to the hospital. I was 35. It was an emergency room where I used to work at, so people knew me there. I walked to the nurse's triage office, and I said, "I've been having chest pain now." It was probably 35 minutes by then, or somewhere around that.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, long story short, I was hospitalized, worked up. It was esophageal spasms I was having. They can hurt really bad, and funny enough, nitroglycerin sometimes is one of the things that they use to treat that because nitroglycerin, which is a heart medication, but it will relieve the esophageal spasm as well, which can be confusing in the emergency room because if you give a patient with chest pain and nitroglycerin, you're going to assume is coronary artery spasms, right? But it will relieve esophageal spasm. The first thing you need to do is obviously check it out. You need an endoscopy. I wouldn't put that off.
So get it checked, make sure it's nothing serious, and it's just chronic acute inflammation. What's the general recommendation?
Well, what causes inflammation from the food that we eat? Got to be red meat, right?
It's got to be red meat that you actually bypassed at the market or you bypassed on the plate, and you focused on eating fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts, salad, pasta, bread, pizza, and not the
Yeah.
healthiest thing you could eat.
Yeah. Chewing very well, and not seriously. In case nobody caught that, I was being sarcastic. But chewing your food very well, it's one of the things that if you're suffering from spasms, you don't want big chunks of food going down. You have to chew your food very, very well, almost to a liquid almost in your mouth before you swallow. It's one of the things that's because the spasm is gonna be triggered by chunks of food of larger size, right? The more you stretch the esophageal, it's a muscle basically, or
Hmm.
in the intestines, the more the food, when it's larger chunks, it can stimulate a reaction.
Well, is bulky? I mean, ultimately, fiber and vegetables are more bulky because they're more fibrous cellulose, and so would switching from a plant protein based to a fatty meat based and be better, and is raw meat better than cooked meat in that?
Most people report that they are able to eat, digest the the meat and the fat better when it's raw or close to raw.
Black and blue.
Yeah,
And just how about fasting for those with esophageal issues?
I think fasting is very good for many things. I just went through a 4-day fast. I only eat once a day usually, although it's been more frequently lately that I am able to eat twice or even 3 times, not 3 full meals, but uh, I think my gastroparesis has gone away. Year and a
Well,
half carnivore.
at carnivore and fasting, and where should we put faith in this and positivity and belief in the higher power? That is there any value in that?
Certainly, I think so. I think meditation, prayer, uh, communing with nature, grounding, exposure to sunlight, stress management, all these things are definitely very helpful.
And let's see, there was another. Let's see. What about fasting and exercise? Do we need to constantly be putting food in the belly in order to be able to exercise?
No, no, and people who deal more with exercise physiology and let's call them experts. Probably there's not a lot of difference whether you do it fasted or after you've had a meal certain amount of time, but it seems most of them favor fasted exercise before then you go and have a meal. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I typically, again, will have that one meal a day at night. I'll do 2 to 3 day fasting a month, 5 to 7 days quarterly. We've got one coming up in April, but I typically will. I mean, I would say that I do my workout and I do walking, weights, a little bit of. I like to call it Sean O'Mara sprinting because I think Sean O'Mara's directions are for all of us are really great. But I typically will do those either morning, afternoon, but before I eat a meal, and then I'll have my meal, and then I get a little tired, and then I go to bed early. I think that's one of the best things. If there are any questions on Instagram, there's a question button. Uh, let's see. Here's another one. Did I get this one? A carnivore, the flu on carnivore. Any thoughts about people who are having upper, lower respiratory issues or even gastrointestinal sicknesses? What's one of the best things we can do, sort of, to alleviate all these illnesses?
Fasting give your gut a rest, and what's the old adage? Feed feed a fever, starve a cold. Is it?
Yeah, but ultimately, if we do more fasting, it is one of the sort of, and maybe even some bone broth with a lot of fat in it. What do you think that that's sort of something that we can rely on?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Let's talk about exercise for a moment, Dr. Vasquez. Where do we put exercise? And maybe is there a different way to look at exercise in our day to day habits?
It is important to move. I mean, if we go back just a few hundred, a thousand, a few thousand years ago, our daily lives included more movement.
Mm.
I don't think they called that exercise, but they certainly had to be moving more and physically more active, right? You didn't have cars, you had to walk, or if you went hunting, you had to run after you prey, and maybe for a couple of days before you get killed. And so the level of physical activity compared to nowadays, it was very different. So now we exercise to be able to compensate for the activity that otherwise we would have had a few hundred years ago. So it is important when you're trying to reverse disease, uh, which is one of my the things I would like to concentrate on. I think diet and other lifestyle changes, but diet is the most important thing. And then exercise at any level is the icing, uh, the cherry on the top, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, so you incorporate it. Can someone who is dealing with having a body weight of 600 pounds exercise to the same level as someone who's 150 pounds? Can no, but even getting up from a chair, from a sitting position, that will be exercise. That might be high intensity exercise for someone to do it 2 or 3 times. So any level of activity at any level. I see Jen, Carrie's wife here.
Oh,
Good
where's Jen?
morning,
I didn't
Jen.
see Jen. Why don't you highlight? Well, you can't. I don't know if you have the ability to highlight that.
I create crafts. Is her?
What is it? I create.
I
Oh, is
I
that?
create crafts, and Carrie is also here
Oh,
from
nice.
Canal.
Well, maybe I could do that. I don't know if I could. I don't know. These guys are. I'm learning so much how to do all this stuff.
Coach Lisa, Caleb's carnivore. Excuse my accent. Unfortunately, from my stroke, I developed a Spanish accent, and it hasn't gone away.
Let me see here.
Yeah, exercise, any level of activity. Sometimes we call it exercise, and we think uh, we're talking about going and lifting weights, and yes, that's part of it. But any level of activity, it's beneficial.
Well, and so now that we're mostly sedentary, we're not going out there. So is going to the gym or at least having some weights and some ways to walk and move a critical important thing?
Yeah, it any activity you can do. Like I said, you have to individualize it. If you cannot go to the gym, going to the gym is great. There's machines there that you probably don't have at home and all kinds of alternatives, but you don't have to. Uh, you can lay on the floor, uh, do some different activities. You can just do chair exercises. Any type of activity that you do is better than nothing.
Is this a chair exercise? But you're
uh,
right. We can do things where we sit down and get up and sit down and get up.
yeah.
And what about standing up more? And I know at the meetup down in Memphis yesterday with G and Fred and Robin and Denitra, I stood up most of the time and listening to so many people speaking. It was really fantastic. And David B on Kiltz Mighty Tribe talks about hiking on an empty stomach, fasted hill work, and ultimately, I don't know. How do you feel after you've eaten a meal, a big meal in general?
Well, a bigger meal would definitely make me often sleepy. I
Yeah.
think it's okay. Your body is concentrating now on digesting, right? So really, it's pulling circulation preferentially to the GI tract and the liver, and we have to digest our food. So sometimes that will make you sleepy. That might not be the best time to be in a flight or or fight mode. Uh,
Yeah, we gotta keep moving, but but after a meal, I get tired and I want to go to bed. And so I typically have my meal at night. It's my big steak meal in general. And then I'll sleep well through the night. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, generally to my 5 a.m.s. But now that I got Dr. Nelson and Alia helping with all of this, it's been fantastic. We have another meetup in Ontario for Healing Humanity, I think, coming up. And that's going to be awesome. And we're really grateful to Carrie, Jen, and the girls. They're just a great, amazing family of healing humanity. And that's so important for all of us. Do you see any other questions there, Doctor?
Well, I see Coach Lisa there.
I sent a link to Carrie. I didn't send a link to Lisa because I didn't find her text. I apologize for that. But getting people on and sharing this and creating your own online presence and telling the story is so important in this, isn't it?
Definitely. So I think I can.
Maybe you could. I don't know if you can, but if you co-text with Lisa's, I'll see if I get Lisa on there. She's around, and she's just a rock star also.
I'm emailing Lisa and Carrie as well.
Yeah, good. If they want to join us, Jeff Simmons is here, David B., Maureen Atsali, Fernando Gomez, Veronica Arbicus, Becca Kanzler, Carol Nakowski, Tricia Roman, Shelley Bergstrom, Millie Bradshaw. Bacon seeds will be arriving soon. 10 hogs this year. Nice. Becca.
All right. Coach Lisa, check your email. Carrie, check your email. I even sent one to Jen. Jen is one of my favorite men. The families.
Yeah, the man's. Those. I mean, and if you go to healinghumanity.life, you can also donate to the cause. We're investing in all of our health and wellness. That's so critical and important for all of us. We must invest in all of that, right? Let's see. We got others coming to the Ontario meetup. Really awesome. And Kiltz will be there. And people asking, what is Lisa's channel? So maybe if Lisa is least here, she can put up her channel. She's not able to come on live with us. Steve Carbone, David B., Donald Smith, Shelley Bergstrom, Veronica. We got you, Jeanette Walker. And again, these meetups and live events are happening infinitely. Nick Norwitz, Dr. Vasquez, can we get Nick Norwitz on one of our lives, morning shows? We do a carnivore conversations. Maybe you can work with Ali and help on that. Dr. Nelson is the medical director for Kiltz Health, looking and helping us to integrate coaching, even some standard medical advice potentially again. But most of it's going to be coaching and cheerleading. And I think there's always going to be some need, but is type 2 diabetes completely reversible by dietary changes, doctor?
I cannot believe for a long time of my own career, I did not view it this way. And I'm angry at myself sometimes, like trying to not get angry at things anymore. But there are, by the way, there are some type 2 diabetics that do have some genetic predisposition to having diabetes, and maybe we would get it to a certain degree no matter what we do. But I would say 95 to 99% of people with type 2 diabetes shouldn't have type 2 diabetes.
Well, if you
the moment you walk into your doctor's office, and if your doctor is not telling you, you can reverse this, I think I'm going to be radical here. You need to look for another doctor.
A question here from HHYU. Oh boy, I can't even do this on Instagram. Neupogen versus our Zerixia. We use both of those in our medical immune protocol treatments. And if you go to CNY Fertility, you can get, or Amazon, and get the Family Building Guide to give you a lot of information on that. And Dr. Nelson and I both practice standard medicine still. But what we're really teaching people is how to make the change, and that type 2 diabetes. I think of it like poison ivy. And I was asking Dr. Berry yesterday, is poison ivy a disease? And he said no. And what it is it's all secondary to a exposure to toxins. Good doctor has the CNY Fertility Family Building Guide up. You can go to Amazon and get it. And I've been reading, again, Meat 3 times a day. I got to get your copy if you don't have it yet, Doctor. That in 1946, before that, he wrote this book, and Eat Meat and Organ Meats. And I say, if you don't eat the organ meats, try Kiltz Health Organ Meat Supplements or liver supplements. But ultimately, let's see, who do we have here? We have Coach Lisa. All right, there she is. I'm sorry. Let's get Coach Lisa here with Dr. Nelson and Kiltz.
Good morning.
Good morning. Been awake for 3 hours, but still laying in bed, y'all. Sorry, it's Sunday.
It was good. I've been up for about the same, and Julio was getting his changing and a little breastfeeding, and then I've been holding him in, sitting on the couch for like hours. It is
best moments of your life.
Oh my God, the best thing ever, best thing, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to come spend time with my grandson and the family. It's just amazing. And we got so many questions here, and I don't know if you can see them also, Lisa, but I got one here on Instagram. I had a prostate cancer and got removed, and specifically asked my doctor if food makes any difference. He said no. Any thoughts on that, Lisa?
Prostate is actually 100% inflammation. And then when we have inflammation, we have zombie cells. When we have zombie cells, you're leading right to cancer. 100% affected by what you eat.
Yeah. Let's see. Sherry Dobrowski. I was pre-diabetic 2 years, went carnivore, and not anymore. We're just poisoned by plants. I mean, is there a requirement to eat plants, Dr. Nelson?
Well, there are essential fatty acids, which are found in fat. There are essentials amino acids that we don't produce. There are 9 of them. We have to find them in nature. The best source of it is meat. I'm still looking for which one is an essential carbohydrate. There is no daily minimum requirement to have any from plants. So no, the answer is no.
And Lisa, what is your general recommendation to people who are working to heal pretty much every disease we've been suffering from?
Absolutely fasting, and absolutely, I would just go beef, water, and salt and then 2 days, and then 3 days. Just keep moving towards the cleanest, purest form of anything going in your system. I did a thing yesterday. It was interesting to me how many people believe that broccoli is one of the most healthiest vegetables God made, and God did not even make broccoli. So it's really amazing how we have been led to for years, or lied to. I'm sorry, not led to. And I was one of those people who believed it too. Get your broccoli in. Broccoli doesn't even come from God, you guys.
Well, I always say it comes from God because God are humans, but ultimately,
well, true. We have the thought, right?
Yeah, we masterfully manipulated it. Is it so? What you're saying, Lisa, is that ultimately human beings manipulated plants, and that might be part of the problem?
Oh, 100%.
And what about fruit? I mean, the beautiful, colorful variety and textures of fruit today. Is that nature, or is it human beings meddling with plants?
Well, after being a gardener for many, many, many years, over 40 years, 240 by 120-foot garden, growing everything under the sun, let me tell you something. If you do not use a pesticide or something to kill the bugs, there's nothing left at the end of the season. And I grew in a short season, which is about 90 days in North Idaho. You can't eat. There's no food left, especially if you're trying to feed a tribe. It's not going to work. So, what is there? Go hunting, get that elk, that deer, the beef. It is 100% there for you year round.
And if you eat the seeds, are the seeds often more damaging for humans than the leaves?
Yes.
Why?
Well, the body can't process it. That's the number one. We weren't designed to eat that. We are not a animal that grazes on vegetables, plants, seeds. I love the terminology of, looking at poison ivy or poison oak. Do you go eat it? How did you know what was good and what was bad? If you listen to your body knows that beef is good. It knows that meat is good. As a matter of fact, eventually most of us don't even want chicken or turkey. They don't even want the bird. They want the animal.
So does fatty meat make cancer worse?
Absolutely not. That is a huge argument right now in the secular part of the world. Doctors, I think, no, but they are under some regulations as to what to say or not say. And I actually just did another talk with a doctor. His name is Dr. Eric Christensen. And he's like, fat is where it's at. The raw, you just grab it and eat it. And if you have to, sear it for like 6 seconds on each side and eat it. And this is the ultimate cure to the body.
And ultimately, the energy for the human body, is it fat or sugar?
Yes. No, fat. It's, I'm sure both of you have already heard this and many people listening right now. I try to explain it. We're all different types of vehicles, right? Like you like to refer to the Ferrari. I refer to the Dodge Ram, right? Like I'm a heavy workhorse. I have a heavy workload. I pull a big load. So what do I need? I need diesel fuel, right? What's my fuel? Fat. Sugar is going to put me in my grave. No sugar. Zero. Nada.
I mean, plants ultimately. Now, it's heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine. What toxic chemical comes from ribeye steak, doctor?
I'm sorry?
What toxic chemical comes from ribeye steak?
None.
None. Now, you and I went to medical school, and in medical school, what nutrition or dietary advice are we given?
As far as what we should eat, it was so long ago, I don't even remember if they ever went through what they suggested. Truly, we studied in detail biology, biochemistry, physiology, pathophysiology, and how all these reactions worked in our body. But I was raised to believe it was a plant-based, low-fat diet,
which is the standard direction that we're taught, and ultimately now, what have we learned in our post graduate practices?
Well, I keep learning that most people who go to the other side, or extreme, if you would, of a very low or zero carb type of diet were ex-vegans and ex-vegetarians. I was a vegetarian at some point, not for too long, but Lisa, I think also, right?
Yes, 16 years.
Yeah, and I'm Italian Mediterranean culture and upbringing. Most of it was plants and pasta and pizza and bread and things like that. And the meat we ate was generally lean. There's no fat. A lot of chicken, turkey, fish, and the meat was ground beef. And when you cooked it, you cooked it well done. And where'd the fat go? It either evaporated or we poured it out.
Poured it out.
Yeah. What about Parkinson's, ADHD, Tourette's, depression, anxiety? Can carnivore help with that?
In my diagnosis of it, 100%. I just finished an entire course on the effects of the liver, the dopamine, the serotonin, and how that affects 100% of anxiety, depression. Oh my gosh, suicidal thoughts, negative thoughts. It is so powerful. What we put in our mouth and on our body has led to so much toxins in our system that we're no longer getting those hormones to our brain. And ultimately, it leads to suicidal thoughts, negative thoughts.
Well, might it be that the plants make substances like heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, and they ferment in the gut, and it's actually the toxic chemicals that come in a plant-based diet or we make that is really causing the brain damage?
That is 100% truthful, because if you look at just the studies that have been done by our stories, right? Like each of us telling a story, we absolutely have gotten to a point that people go from being either vegan or lacto vegan or a keto diet, and they cross over to the carnivore. These symptoms go away. They no longer have to be on, an antidepressant or other medications that are stabilizing the brain. The body's able to make what the brain needs, including the number one thing: 60% into the brain is your fat. And you have to have that cholesterol and that fat. So when the government took that out of our diet, convinced us that we shouldn't have it based off plants and low fat and high carb was the way to go, we all got sick. So we start switching that and we start healing.
Well, so maybe I have this question for Dr. Nelson. Should we wait for the government to do scientific studies that carnivore is okay?
We don't have to ask permission from anyone to change what we eat. I don't think that's necessary. Would there be some exceptions out there? Yeah, maybe. But you don't need to ask anyone's permission. Your mom, if you're still a child, maybe, but you don't have to ask permission. I have a question here from One More Doll. How does carnivore? I want you to answer first. I know the answer to this, and I have a personal experience. But how does carnivore affect blood pressure? I am a carnivore, no issues, but husband is morbidly obese and on 3 or 4 blood pressure medications. Does carnivore help blood pressure go down? What's your answer, Lisa and Dr. Kiltz?
Well, I just had this discussion with a doctor a week ago tomorrow, and absolutely 100%, you must eat the fat to lower your blood pressure. Completely the opposite of what we're being told in mainstream medical. Absolutely. If you want that blood pressure down, first you got to calm yourself down, get your breathing under control. You need the sunlight, you need the grounding, and you need the fat. Bottom line, it's not going to work if you don't do it.
How about
I,
you, Dr. Kiltz?
I agree with you, Lisa, 100%. And if you go back to our ancient evolution, we hunted, we killed, we ate, and we ate the organ meats, the fatty meat, the fat. Your body wants fat. It's going to make it or you're going to eat it. And since we're not eating it, it's making it, and it's critical to make fat. And ultimately, you can eat some plants. We can thrive and survive on a low plant, high fatty meat diet. But your very best is to minimize, eliminate the plants. And lean meat is also a cause of disease. And that's one of our problems, is that we're focusing on the lean meat, chicken, fish, turkey, and well-cooked beef and pork, which they've already basically raised these animals to be lean, and they cut away the fat when they deliver it to the markets. And again, we've created a world of anti-fat. Obesity causes no disease. I don't care what size you are. 1 week of carnivore, you'll be like a game changer. 2 weeks, even more than that. A month, oh my God, stand back. And Dr. Vasquez, we've got to do a live in Spanish, and I'm going to put you to that task for Kiltz Health lives in Spanish. We've got one of our Instagram asking for a Spanish channel, and so I think we're going to deliver that for sure. That would be so. And we really, what we need to do is we have to have the ability as we speak. It translates into every language of the world. We have the ability to do that today, do we not?
Probably, yeah. AI is getting very sophisticated. So my answer to the question is going to be this. And we're trying to, at Kiltz Health, we're trying to use the KISS method, right? Keep it simple. I'll skip the other S, but
Yeah.
keep it simple, right?
Okay.
But
So
I'm going to be okay. In medical school, I learned that 5, maybe 10% of hypertension was caused by very specific identifiable causes. And most of it, almost 90% of hypertensives, we didn't know why. But actually, we kind of know why. And most of those are because of hyperinsulinemia, which is the body's normal response to excessive carbohydrate consumption.
or
Okay?
any sugars or proteins.
Yeah. So my personal experience, I only developed hypertension at the age of 58. And like 9 months later, I had a stroke. When I started being strict keto, I don't think my blood pressure changed that much until I went carnivore. And I was using 2 medications, metoprolol, 300 milligrams a day, which, if you know anything about that medication, is a very high dose, and lisinopril, maximum dose of 40 milligrams a day. Took me about 7 to 8 months for me to go completely. I taper off completely off medication. I did it with the help of my doctors, okay, me primarily, but I don't recommend. I don't recommend you do that because you need to work with the doctor to taper off medication. But
what if they don't want to do that?
yeah, then you
That's
find
where
someone else.
online with Dr. Coach Dr. Vasquez and Coach Lisa and many others, which what's happening in medical world is that we're taking away from the doctors.
So my blood pressure, by the way, yesterday or the day before I checked it, it was 118 over 70, I think. It's been like that for now over a year because it's been 30 months without blood pressure medication, completely reversed. I mean, absolutely 100% reversed my hypertension with going on a carnivore diet.
And so will type 2 diabetes be gone because it's a damage of your liver from it's insulin resistance is liver damage. And I know that Coach Lisa really, really hones in on liver damage. You got to fix the liver. And that's one of the most important things. And so someone else mentioned that, well, the doctor said the fat's going to make me have heart disease. And another comment here about high LDL cholesterol. Is that really a thing or is that a lie?
The people who have lived longest on this earth have the highest levels of cholesterol. As a matter of fact, as a self advocate for yourself, I highly recommend dig deep into that, learn about it. And when your doctor goes, no, you need to bring it down, I'm putting you on statins, whatever it is, you have the right to fire your doctor. You have the right to be a self advocate and go out and do what you know to be truth. It's absolute truth. You look at who's dying today of heart attacks at 38, 32, 41 years of age, yet we used to live to 120, 130 and older. Look at the connection of the dots, the writings on the wall. Remember that our past always leaves clues for success for the future. And if you really study that, you can start to see that you were lied to, and that's okay. But today you have to be responsible and accountable to make that decision yourself. And if it means firing your doctor and getting somebody who will work with you, do it. I don't advocate going off your medication without assistance. That could be disastrous, but definitely find someone to work with and up it. Get it up.
Kerry Man over the weekend put some reels, some short videos on his platforms about doctors talking about cholesterol. Go and search for that. Homestead How on YouTube.
It's basically the the standard medical community, our job is to give you advice that will actually make you sick and then give you the drugs to make you think you're well. But ultimately, it's not working. And that's what we're sharing here. So, listen, you're in charge of your health and wellness. You're in charge of what you decide to do. And ultimately, the carnivore diet, fatty meat, salt water, one meal a day, have faith in God, and jump into these communities is the most important part. Because basically, Dr. Vasquez, if you went to the American Family Practice Association and stood up there and said, the Mediterranean diet is wrong, carnivore is right, they're all going to stand up and applaud?
I doubt it. And listen, if we were to rank them, first of all, what's a Mediterranean diet? Every country along, every group, every village along the Mediterranean Sea, which is where the name comes from, might be a different variation of a combination of animal and plants. They are not all the same. So, what is a Mediterranean diet? But if we were to rank them as far as how damaging they are to us, there will be some plant and animal type of diets that are better than the standard atrocious diet, right? If we are eating 100% of our food based on ultra processed foods, drinking alcohol, and all these things we know are bad. Well, yeah, a plant based with some meat might be better than that.
Well, would it be lean meat or fatty meat?
Well, I prefer fatty meat.
Well, that's what we're saying to people: eat fatty meat. And should we focus on 3 meals and 3 snacks?
We definitely don't need to be eating that frequently and that much. We have an abundance problem. We have an excess problem, and you mentioned obesity causes no disease, and I always say, well, there's some nuance to that, because it resulted probably from what's causing everything else that you were suffering with. It's not that it caused the problems, but it came along with all these other problems. You change your diet, you're going to change that, and your body will reset to your your better thing.
Okay.
40 years.
Go ahead.
Can I throw 2 cents out on this?
Please.
Which came first, obesity, insulin resistance, or fatty liver disease?
It's a result of those problems. Yeah.
Right. So what got the fatty liver disease in process, whether it was in the womb or at 2 years old or 6 years old, it could have been worked on, reverse fixed at that point. But then we went ultra processed. We bought the advertisements and the commercials and everything. Oh, go to the inner store and get more sugar, and you become, I know the term addicted is a very loose term to use, but sugar is the largest legal addiction in the world. And it has caused us to become sicker and sicker and sicker.
Is Coca-Cola good for us?
Definitely not.
We know not. And I was talking to Dr. Ken Berry, and he presented at the Memphis meetup that in Texas they were trying to reject the use of food stamps, I think, for purchasing sodas and basically
sodas and candy.
Okay.
And sodas and candy, and basically the industry came out and said, well, wait a minute. We American Diabetic Association said, wait a minute, we support the use of food stamps for sodas and candy.
Doc, you are hitting such a nerve for me right now. 6 years ago, on April 2nd of this year, I wrote a letter to the governor of Idaho, how they give WIC and SNAP And with this particular money on the street, every $50 or every $100 is worth $50. So if you give away $100 of SNAP or WIC, you can get $50 cash, correct? Which would be to go buy other substances. However, that part bothered me, but what really bothered me more than anything was that you can't use it for any vitamins, any healthy foods. Literally, it's designated for like energy drinks, candy, chips, soda, ice cream. It is insane. They even lowered the price if you're on WIC, if you will buy those items. So I was in a situation and I called I wrote a letter to the governor and I said, this has to stop. I want to, like, deep down inside my soul, I want to be an advocate for that, because people are utilizing your food stamps, WIC, SNAP, whatever the name of it is, to purchase junk, literally junk foods that they condone and permit. But then if you want to get a vitamin D or a supplement or, a better grain, organic, whatever, healthier meat, they will not allow the dollars to be spent to make you healthy.
So what we need to do is, so the government, and we're part of that, we've got to keep on sharing the ideas, but we have to make sure we share these ideas individually with the people that are making the decisions of spending that they will learn that they can come over to the lion side, the mighty side, the creative side, the controlling of their own lives side, and look at and is a fatty meat or burgers and eggs and chicken and fish and butter, is that a sustainable, healthy diet?
Of course.
It's the
100%.
base, right?
So I'm not going to name a name, but I belong with a company that I've been with since '88. Then I left and I went back. They are a plant-based company, and the guy is very, very, very wealthy, and he speaks with DC on a regular basis. Every Friday, he flies there from Idaho. Long story short, they just got like 8 or 9 awards for being the #1 company, natural healing wellness company right now in America. And they are going into other countries. They are becoming more worldwide. And a lot of their products are good as far as like beauty and cleaning to get less toxins into your system. But everything has a proprietary stamp on it, which means you do not get to see the ingredients. This is more false advertisement for us that are actually trying to heal.
And that's why the real message is go to our roots, and carnivore is our true roots. And the more we create to build that platform, because I've always said, I think it was Mother Teresa always said, I'll never fight against, I will only work for. And ultimately, because the communities that control the money also control the weapons and the words. And we've got to be out there putting out the word and why carnivore is like a game changer.
That is complete truth.
Mike from Ground Beef Chef, I only eat bacon, eggs, and butter and feel as good as I did when I was in high school. We had Mike on, I think, last Monday. We've got to bring him on one of our conversations and get him on again. He's a rock star, truck driver. And your stories, by the way, are critical. And so Alia at drkiltz.com, if you want to be on one of our lives, one of our events, or help share healing humanity around the globe, if you email Alia at drkiltz.com. Are we going to inundate Alia, Dr. Nelson?
Yes. Yamaira Serrano, vamos a tener esto en español por lo menos una vez en semana. Okay. Yamaira says hello, knowing, basically she doesn't speak English. So I'm telling her that we're going to be planning to do this. Maybe once a week, we'll have a live in Spanish. Okay.
And there's got to be a way that all the words we're speaking are automatically transcribed. And even if it's, I think there's a place for you to link what we say to the words that you can listen and watch in your language. It's
There is,
always-
you can do it in closed caption or audio, and it is a setting that transcribes through AI for you.
Can you mention that, Dr. Nelson, in Spanish?
En la traducción del video. Now, I don't know if that's available on a live. I know it's available on when you're
Recordings.
watching a recording, but we'll check on that as well. It's already 11, but I wanted to point out, someone asked, and you both can say something about this: carnivore and breastfeeding.
Oh, 100%. It's already, women are doing it. They're doing it pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, lactation, and post. That is I call it the baby's diet: bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's ice cream, salt, one meal a day in general for most of us. But on babies, they generally eat more frequently while they're in the care of their moms at a young age. But again, this is so much better. When are we on next, Doctor?
Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. And then on Mondays, if you're not a member of Kiltz Mighty Tribe, go to drkiltz.com, sign up. It's free. Okay. We charge you nothing, nada, zero. Okay. Free. And as part of those benefits, you will have once a week on Mondays at 5:30 Eastern time. We have a Zoom call. We're going to be expanding that in the next, I think it's still a couple of months away, but we're going to have additional Zoom calls on different levels and different benefits there. But right now, Mondays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, you have to be a member of Kiltz Mighty Tribe. Go to drkiltz.com and sign up for free.
And share it with your brothers and sisters, and become a volunteer to help moderate and help answer questions, because we're really working this to be community constructed and based, that we don't have to spend a lot of money paying people, but we're spreading the word. And that's it. All right. So Lisa, thank you for being here. Dr. Nelson, thank you for being here. I so appreciate everyone. I'm going to go hang out with Julio. And any last moment? Hey, my brother Kenny, how you doing, Ken?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing awesome. We're doing awesome. Lisa,
In a couple weeks.
I know. We'll see you soon. Lisa, any last words of advice and/or where can people hunt you down?
Yeah,
You
someone
can
was
find
asking,
me-
where can we find Coach Lisa?
It's Carnivore Coach Lisa on YouTube, or you could just go to Life Back System and find me there. My last words are, you guys, no one is going to advocate for you like you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you matter, number one. Number two, we're sorry that so many medical field nutritionist, dietitian, we have and probably are going to continue for years driving in the standard American diet. Not myself. I repented. I'm over it. But remember to let your words be edifying, encouraging, and uplifting, and help each person come to be better daily.
Coach Lisa, thank you. Dr. Nelson, we appreciate you also. And we'll see everyone tomorrow morning at 5
You guys take care.
God
Thank
bless
you for having me. See you
Awesome.
soon. Take care.
Bye, Kenny.
Bye-bye.
Take
See
care.
you in Yuma.
All right. See you there.
5
All right, my
a.m.
brother,
tomorrow.
sister. See you